do it? Really surprised no one's mentioned CeeLo Green. 1 minute. He's a beloved musician. The next. He tweets that it's not ape if she's passed out. Dropped overnight. Done. Edit. Wow. I didn't think anyone would even see this. A few people have pointed out that I oversimplified a bit. /u/Twintisneventa12 gave a better explanation. I feel like you missed a key point. Drugs a woman. Has sex with her while she's passed out. Is convicted of the above. Then tweets that the conviction was unfair because she was unconscious, so it doesn't count. Huh. So that's what happened. I don't really follow music news at all. So I just noticed he suddenly vanished. Same. I kept waiting to hear about a new album. Now I know why that never happened. That time beloved Heisman winner /NFL legend comedic actor O.J. Simpson committed that double homicide. Allegedly. And then, despite his complete innocence, wrote a book on how, if he had committed double homicide, he would have gone about it. Funny story. I read somewhere that the ghostwriter who wrote that book for him said something like there is not a single doubt in my mind that he killed them. Ashley Simpson's SNL fiasco. Getting caught lip syncing was bad enough, but the awkward shuffle afterwards really sealed her fate. Yeah, that's the sad thing. In the age of celebrities brushing off ex tapes and people's careers bouncing back after racist outbursts, assault CCTV and caught lip syncing isn't even that bad. In fact, it's happened to many artists before and after. If she had just left the stage right then, but she had to do that awkward 19th century gold prospector dance. That's what made the clip endlessly playable and viral enough to have really killed her career. Oscar Pistorius aka the Blade Runner. Shot and killed his girlfriend. Roses are red. Violets are glorious. Never piss off. Oscar Pistorius. Roses are red. Violets are glorious. You can never sneak up on Oscar Pistorius. Michael Richards, Kramer, with cocaine and the word nigger. Although his career wasn't really too hot at that point anyway. Edit. Everyone keeps talking about how much money he has. We are not talking about that. We are talking about people who ruin their career and reputation in a single moment they don't need to have lost all their money in an instant too. Yeah. Not so much ruined as put a damper on any possible momentum his career might have had in the future. Bob Parsons. Founder of GoDaddy. He was rolling in the riches until his vacation video surfaced where he is seen standing next to an endangered elephant which he had shot and killed. The video then switches to a clip of about 30-40 African villagers pulling apart and eating said elephant raw. Now, it wouldn't have been so bad if the villagers hadn't all been wearing bright orange GoDaddy hats. Talk about a PR nightmare. The original video is still on YouTube somewhere. Edit. RIP Inbox. Best part was the AC/DC playing in the background. Edit. It was Hell's Bells. Ike. Is this a parody thread, or am I really that out of the loop with celebrity news? Sinead O'Connor. For standing against child abuse and denouncing the church. I went through 16 years of Catholic schooling. My family was fanatic in their beliefs. When Sinead made her statement and ripped up the picture, I started looking into the allegations. What I found shook me to the core. And I had to renounce my Catholicism. Watch the movie The Magdalene Sisters. It depicts just one part of the very large-scale scandal of abuse that was sponsored, then covered up by the Catholic Church. Catholics have purgatory for good people who need to do some time served before they can get into heaven, right? I betcha he was content in the thought that he'd see you a bit later on down the line. I'm going to go old school here and say Fatty Arbuckle. Though the fault largely lies with the media rather than his own doing. Arbuckle was one of the most popular and highest paid silent movie actors of the 1910s. But after he and some friends hosted a drinking party at a San Francisco hotel, a woman who attended fell ill and died a few days later. A friend claimed that Arbuckle had aped her, despite there being no evidence to support it. The media ran with the story, first claiming that the actor's size caused traumatic injuries to the young woman, then saying he had violated her with a champagne bottle. Arbuckle was tried for rape and manslaughter 3 times. The first 2 resulting in mistrials, before he was finally acquitted in the 3rd. But the damage was done. His reputation was shattered. Not only was his career ruined, many of his older films were banned and or destroyed. It's a fascinating and sad story. Generally considered the first true Hollywood scandal. Sounds like the definition of slander. Libel. Actually. Mel Gibson did a great job, but surprisingly he's putting it back together. He's putting it back together. Probably because he's legitimately talented. He's also been keeping a fairly low personal profile the last few years. He's also been sober for years. Gary Glitter, for that split second click on the icon by the technician when the computer he sent in for repair opened up all his kiddie porn. Years ago I worked with a guy who was friends with the guy who found that stuff on Gary's computer. The guy who found it was only late teens early 20s and had to receive counseling as a result of seeing those images. I don't want to know. But that must have been some very bad hit on there. I took a computer forensics class in grad school, and we met with a police officer in charge of scanning computers for bad stuff including child pornography. I asked him how he can distinguish child pornography from legal teen porn. He said that the stuff they find isn't questionable stuff. It's pictures that feel like a punch to the gut the moment you see them. I can't imagine seeing that as part of my job. The guy behind the whole Connie 2012 movement had a mental breakdown at the peak of its popularity. Found naked on drugs in a public park. Right? That whole ordeal was a hit show. Jennifer Grey hit stardom in the mid/late 80s with Ferris Bueller's Day Off and Dirty Dancing. Then had plastic surgery that left her unrecognizable. And barely got any roles ever since. Nobody puts baby in the corner, but a botched nose job will. The nose job was actually done well. Too well. She looks too generic now and can't get work. She looked great with her old nose. She had this French Gaelic look about her. Jerry Lee Lewis, when he married his 13-year cousin and went from being an international rock star to an outcast. However, he did revive his career when he went back to his country roots. When he married his 13-year cousin, went back to his country roots. Keck. I'm from the American South. West Virginia is the 4chan and deep web browsing piece of hit of the South. It's still beautiful, though. Lindsay Lohan. When she thought I should try cocaine. I don't know much about her other than when I liked her movies as a kid, but there is this one video I came across one day where Perez Hilton is basically trying to get Amy Winehouse to talk hit on her, and then Amy just says something like I don't know. She's probably a nice girl and Perez starts saying something else. It made me feel really sad for both of them. And by extension a lot of people who are in the public eye. It was a very weird video, but the thing with Can I recently made me remember it. Perez is a giant gaping asshole. More a story about how a celebrity ruined themselves in my family's eyes. For the film Finding Neverland. About 30 seconds was filmed in our garden. Naturally it took several days. I was on a school trip at the time so missed the action. I was 10. It was also my birthday. My parents thought it would be nice if they could get Johnny Depp and Kate Winslet to sign my birthday card as they were basically living in a trailer and outside our neighbor's house. Johnny Depp was fantastic and even wrote me a little message which I have since treasured. Kate on the other hand refused to even sign the card or speak to my parents. It only takes 1 second to go from great actress to selfish itch. It's great that he signed your card. Johnny Depp seems like a nice guy. But I have a problem with you calling her that. They don't have to do that. In fact, isn't it entitled to say they should? And the fact that you're calling her a selfish itch make you a selfish itch? Let her be. She's at work. She doesn't owe you anything. You're the one being selfish. Meanwhile regular people get annoyed when strangers approach them on the street. Paul Walker when he became a tree hugger. Too fast too furious. But not too soon. Robin Thicke while it started with grinding with Millie on the VMAs. His hand up the skirt of young woman while married to Paula Patton finished it. Blurred Lines had set him up for it pretty well. The hand skirt thing was the straw that broke the camel's back. Blurred Lines simultaneously made and killed his career. I've never seen anything like it. Pete Rose caught betting on baseball while a player/manager in the league including on his own team. was ruled ineligible for the Hall of Fame despite surefire Hall of Fame numbers. Has probably cost himself millions in potential earnings, though he is now back as a Fox analyst 25 years later. He also had to go to club fed for cheating on his taxes. Although from his book, it kinda sounds like summer camp he stayed in a cabin and played softball every day. He does make the argument that if he'd been an alcoholic or a cokehead, he'd have been sent to rehab at full pay. But because he was a gambling addict, he gets blackballed. On the other hand, he could have gambled on literally anything other than MLB games. He could have gambled thousands of dollars on children's sack races. And the MLB wouldn't have cared. That's because people are far more likely to watch a cokehead play baseball than watch a game they think is fixed. Does anyone remember Zoe 101, Jamie Lynn Spears? Sometimes I google her to see WTF is up. She's a country songwriter now, and I think she's won some awards. Seems to have a pretty decent career. Edit, this is my highest ranked comment ever. And I have no idea why. Also fixed misspelling. Edit 2, unfixed misspelling. Now I know why. I've always felt that country music is way better than country music. Keep it local. Ducking like and subscribe.